Story 1 of 8. Australian IS-linked women and children return from Syria amid legal and security scrutiny. Australian IS-linked women and children return from Syria amid legal and security scrutiny. Here's what every outlet agrees on. 4 Australian women and 9 children, total 13, linked to ISIS are returning to Australia from Syria, with flights expected to arrive on the 6th of May, 2026, Thursday night. The group left Syria's Al-Roj detention camp on the 24th of April, 2026 and were stuck in Damascus before securing flights. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke confirmed the group's return and stated they will face the full force of the law if crimes were committed. Australian Federal Police, AFP, Commissioner Chrissy Barrett confirmed some individuals will be arrested and charged upon arrival, including for terrorism offences and crimes against humanity. The group includes 3 generations of the same family, with some women claiming they were coerced or tricked into travelling to Syria. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC state the group was turned back from Damascus airport due to Australia's refusal to receive them, but the Australian government denies direct involvement in blocking their departure. Some sources, Guardian, Newscomau, claim the group left Al-Roj in coordination with security forces, while others, ABC, describe it as a Syrian government-led transport. The US Department of State letter, cited in Newscomau and The Age, suggests Australia's opposition to repatriation is frustrating, but the Australian government insists its position is unchanged and denies assisting the group. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, and The Age. Story 2 of 8. 5-year-old Kumanjayi Little Baby's abduction, murder, and aftermath in Alice Springs, NT. 5-year-old Kumanjayi Little Baby's abduction, murder, and aftermath in Alice Springs, NT. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Kumanjayi Little Baby, a 5-year-old Walpiri girl, went missing from old-timers Iliperani town camp in Alice Springs on April 25, 2026, at around 11:30 p.m. Her body was found approximately 5 kilometers south of Old Timers Town Camp near the Todd River on April 30, 2026, around midday. Jefferson Lewis, a 47-year-old man, was arrested on April 30, 2026, in connection with Kumanjayi Little Baby's death. Lewis was charged with the murder of Kumanjayi Little Baby on May 1, 2026, and also faces 2 counts of sexual assault. Lewis was released from prison 6 days before Kumanjayi Little Baby's disappearance and had a history of serious assaults and domestic violence-related offences. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that Jefferson Lewis was charged with murder and 2 counts of sexual assault, but the exact nature of the sexual assault charges is not detailed in all sources. The Age and ABC describe the riot as lasting about 5 hours, while Newscomau does not specify the duration but emphasizes the extent of the damage and arrests made. The Guardian and ABC mention that Lewis was beaten unconscious before his arrest, but The Age and Newscomau provide additional details about the location and circumstances of the attack, which are not fully consistent across all sources. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, SBS News, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 3 of 8. Deadly hantavirus outbreak on cruise ship MV Hondius in Atlantic Ocean. Deadly hantavirus outbreak on cruise ship MV Hondius in Atlantic Ocean. Here's what every outlet agrees on. 3 people have died from a suspected hantavirus outbreak on the MV Hondius cruise ship, a Dutch couple, 70 and 69, and a German national, 69. A British national, 69, is in intensive care in South Africa after being evacuated from the ship with suspected hantavirus. The ship departed from Ushuaia, Argentina, on March 2026 and was heading to Cape Verde when the outbreak was reported. Cape Verde authorities refused the ship permission to dock due to the outbreak, citing public health concerns. The ship has 149 passengers and 61 crew members, with 23 nationalities represented. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report the ship has 149 passengers, But the ABC also mentions 88 passengers in one article, likely an error. The ABC states the ship was marooned 4 days off Cape Verde, while The Guardian does not specify the duration but confirms it was stranded. The Guardian reports the ship's largest guest room is 26 square meters, while the ABC does not provide such details. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, and SBS News. Story 4 of 8. Polar blast brings snow, rain, and cold to Australia's southeast May 2026. Polar blast brings snow, rain, and cold to Australia's southeast May 2026. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Snow forecast for hills around Melbourne, Hobart, and Canberra on Wednesday night Thursday morning, May 6 to 7, 2026. Bureau of Meteorology forecasts 5 to 10 centimeters of snow at ski resorts, with flurries down to 500 m in Tasmania, 600 m in Victoria, and 700 m in NSW-ACT. Thursday will be the coldest day of 2026 so far for Melbourne, Adelaide, and Canberra. Sydney's maximum temperature on Thursday is forecast at 19 degrees Celsius, Wollongong at 17 degrees Celsius, and Canberra at 12 degrees Celsius. Rain, thunder, small hail, and cold winds expected in South Australia, Victoria, and Tasmania from Wednesday afternoon into Thursday morning. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian says Melbourne's maximum temperature on Thursday will be 14 degrees Celsius, while other sources say it will be higher, e.g., 19 degrees Celsius in Sydney, but no specific Melbourne max above 14 degrees Celsius in Newscomau ABC. The Guardian mentions snow down to 700 m in Victoria, while Newscomau and ABC say 600 m. The Guardian states snow is possible in the snowy mountains down to 1000 m, while Newscomau and ABC do not mention this specific altitude. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 5 of 8. Australia's $10 billion fuel and fertiliser supply package and government stockpile plan. Australia's $10 billion fuel and fertiliser supply package and government stockpile plan. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The Australian federal government announced a $10 billion fuel and fertiliser supply package to address shortages amid global instability. A government-owned reserve for diesel and aviation fuel will be established as part of the plan. The plan aims to increase Australia's fuel backup stocks to a 50-day supply. Energy Minister Chris Bowen stated, "We know that the international environment is getting more unstable, not less." But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian specifies the $10 billion package includes fertiliser, while SBS only mentions fuel and stockpile without fertiliser. This story was covered by The Guardian and SBS News. Story 6 of 8. Russia violates Ukraine's ceasefire with deadly strikes during Victory Day preparations. Russia violates Ukraine's ceasefire with deadly strikes during Victory Day preparations. Here's what every outlet agrees on. At least 22 civilians were killed in Russian missile and drone strikes across Ukraine on May 5 to 6, 2026, including 17 in Kramatorsk, Zaporizhia, and Chernihiv on May 6 alone. Ukraine announced a unilateral 24-hour ceasefire starting midnight May 6, ending May 7, in response to Russia's Victory Day ceasefire declaration for May 9 to 10, 2026. Russia launched 11 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and 164 strike drones at Ukraine between May 5 to 6, with Ukrainian air defenses intercepting 149 drones and 1 missile. Russia's Victory Day parade on May 9, 2026, will exclude tanks and ballistic missiles for the first time in nearly 20 years due to security concerns. Ukraine's energy infrastructure, including Naftogaz facilities, has been targeted 107 times since January 2026, with recent strikes in Poltava and Kharkiv regions. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC reports 22 total civilian deaths from May 5 to 6 strikes, while The Guardian mentions 28 civilian deaths, Donetsk, Poltava, Dnipro regions, without specifying overlap or exact dates. The Guardian states Russia launched more than 100 combat drones on May 6, but ABC reports 164 strike drones fired between May 5 to 6, likely cumulative. ABC claims Russian Defense Ministry downed 289 drones overnight in 18 regions, while The Guardian cites 53 drones downed between 21 to 7 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, potentially different timeframes. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 7 of 8. Diphtheria outbreaks in Northern Territory and Western Australia 2026. Diphtheria outbreaks in Northern Territory and Western Australia 2026. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Diphtheria cases in the Northern Territory have risen to 18 confirmed respiratory diphtheria cases, up from 4 in late April 2026, and 66 cutaneous diphtheria notifications since 2025. Western Australia reported 60 diphtheria cases in 5 months, 2026, primarily in Indigenous Australians in the Kimberley, with smaller numbers in the Pilbara and Goldfields. Respiratory diphtheria symptoms include sore throat, mild fever, loss of appetite, and in severe cases, trouble breathing. Cutaneous diphtheria symptoms include sores or ulcers, often on legs, and slow-healing wounds. Diphtheria is caused by toxic strains of the bacterium Corynebacterium diphtheriae *, and both respiratory and cutaneous strains are highly contagious and vaccine preventable. The Northern Territory's outbreak primarily impacts Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, with 93% of confirmed cases among them, and cases are widespread across all 5 NT regions, including remote communities. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states the NT's respiratory diphtheria cases quadrupled from 4 to 18 in just over a month, while Newscomau does not provide a comparable timeline for WA's 60 cases in 5 months. ABC reports 93% of NT cases are among Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, while Newscomau does not specify a percentage for WA's Indigenous cases but notes they are primarily affected. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au. Story 8 of 8. Toddler in coma after inhaling toxic cake decorating dust, Gold Coast mother calls for product ban. Toddler in coma after inhaling toxic cake decorating dust, Gold Coast mother calls for product ban. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A 14-month-old toddler named Dustin Wildman, inhaled metallic gold dust used for cake decorating on May 5, 2026, while his mother, Katie Robinson, was baking. Dusty was taken to Queensland Children's Hospital in Brisbane after becoming unresponsive and is currently in an induced coma, unable to breathe on his own. Dusty underwent surgery to clear his lungs and a second procedure to move his breathing tube from his mouth to his nose. The gold dust product contained zinc and copper, with copper identified as the most damaging substance. Katie Robinson has called for non-edible decorative dusts to be removed from sale and kept away from food products. But not all outlets told the same story. Article 1 states Dusty's parents relocated to Brisbane from the Gold Coast, while Article 2 does not explicitly mention their original location but focuses on the Gold Coast as the accident site. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au.